There is a good chance that you are watching this video after a big dinner, suffering from a lot of drowsiness and feeling fatigue. But why does that happen? Why do we feel extremely tired right after a big meal? In this video, we will go over the science of food comas, briefly going over the nervous system, digestive system, and sugar crashes. To start, food coma's scientific name is postprandial somnolence, and it happens to almost everyone, with the parasympathetic nervous system being the main culprit. As part of the autonomic nervous system, which is responsible for all of our involuntary movements, such as breathing and heart beating, the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for rest and digest responses and relaxing, which includes decreasing our heart rate and increasing saliva production. It is the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for fight or flight and stress responses, which includes increasing our heart rate and blood flow. As we start eating food, it is a signal for the parasympathetic nervous system that it is time to start digesting. So the system kicks in to start digestion and make us feel more relaxed. As we need our digestive system to digest the food, more blood flow and energy is directed to those organs instead of to our brain and our muscles responsible for fight or flight. We start to feel more sleepy and feel food coma fatigue. Now, as our digestive system breaks down our food, glucose, or sugar, is absorbed into our bloodstream. Glucose is in almost all foods, and it is the energy that our body needs to function. As the amount of glucose in our blood increases, our pancreas starts secreting the famous hormone insulin, which helps our cells absorb the glucose in our blood. The production of insulin also releases serotonin, the happiness neurotransmitter that further helps us relax and make us feel more content. It is also one of the reasons why we eat a lot when we are stressed. However, having too much glucose in our bloodstream causes our pancreas to release a massive amount of insulin, as having high blood sugar level is dangerous. As the army of insulin floods the bloodstream to absorb the glucose in our blood, the blood sugar level drops very rapidly, to the point where too much of the glucose gets absorbed. This is what we refer to as a sugar crash, where our blood sugar level and energy level plummets as too much insulin was produced in response to the high amount of glucose that just entered our body. The food that is most guilty for giving us sugar crashes are the foods that contain a lot of unhealthy sugars, such as energy drinks and fast food, which will elevate our energy levels from the sheer amount of sugar they contain, and then cause a sugar crash right after, as an excess amount of insulin had to be produced in the process to get rid of all the sugar. And there we have it. As we eat food, it signals to our parasympathetic nervous system to start the rest and digest response, directing more blood and energy to our digestive system and causing us to relax more. Then, insulin is released to help our cells digest the glucose broken down from the foods that we ate, which in turn releases serotonin, which makes us feel even more relaxed. Lastly, if the blood sugar levels were too high as a result of eating super sugary foods, too much insulin will be produced, causing a sudden drop in the sugar levels and therefore causing a massive drop in our energy levels, giving us the sugar crash that we are all too familiar with. I hope that all of you learned something new today, and thank you for watching, and good luck with everything.